afternoon, guys. I'm on the Gamtoos this afternoon. This morning this river was like a plate of glass, and then at around just around 9-10 o'clock we had a massive north wind come through, which according to the reports was going to drop in the afternoon, and that's exactly what it's busy doing now. I'm on my way down to my cob spot, but I thought on the way down I'll do what I don't normally do, and that's a bit of trolling. So I've got two level winds out here, and I've just come down along the Kransies. I'm going to now skid across to that 4-meter channel by the blue drums and pull these lures all the way down to the blind mouth area where I normally do my drop shot fishing. I get very bored of this very quickly, so I'm looking to do probably 2 runs, and by that time the tide should start pushing in. It's a 4 o'clock high tide today. It's just gone 2 o'clock. So let's see what happens. I'll do, as I said, the 2 runs. Hopefully I pick up something. I've got a Artlure 3-meter diver on this side, and I've got a Laser Pro Halco laser on that one. Purple and a silver one. Both 3-meter runners. Let's see, hopefully when I check in again, there'll be a nice cobby on the line. Wish me luck. Right, and there we are, folks. Doesn't feel like a very big cob, but we're on. Right, so I did a couple of trawls, as I said. I did manage to get that little electric eel. It's amazing how those things always come up on a lure. But the tide's starting to push quite nicely now. The wind and the tide are making it possible for me to hang in one spot here and fish the incoming tide. And before I put the camera on now, I had one little on-off, which I'm not sure if it was a Garrick or a small cob. It was only on for a split second, but I'm hoping to get a couple of fish here today. It's looking quite juicy. It's a couple of days after spring, but there's still quite a good current. Plenty of mullets coming in, but not shoals of them, but plenty of them. I think I'm going to just hang tight a bit and see if I can pick up a little cobby in this incoming tide. Let's see what happens, man. I'm very keen. Plastic today again. I lost a bit of faith in it the other day when guys caught fish around me, but there it is. You can have a good look at it. It's a nice 7-inch plastic with a flat profile tail and a fork at the end. I'm fishing that with a swivel to a fishing buddy clip, just to reduce the line twist when I'm working the lure. With this wind behind me, I'm able to get very long casts, and I'm drifting ever slowly along with the tide. I think it's only a matter of time before a little Mr. Kob comes and says hello. The audio is going to be quite bad. The wind is blowing quite strong. But what I'm doing, guys, is I'm letting it touch bottom and just giving it my usual 2 pokes just to bring it up about a meter off the bottom, and that seems to be the recipe. Right, chaps, I'm sure you can see on the other side of the river there we've got some cormorants and some egrets busy chasing baitfish on the side. So I've moved up right here to the pinch again. There's also a Goliath heron to my left, and these birds are feeding massively on the side here, so there must be a shoal of little mullet or possibly some gill cristella that have been pushed up against that bank. The wind has almost but dropped away now, as it was predicted to do. But with that amount of bird life staying on that bank there and just working the bank up and down, tells me there's quite a lot of baitfish that have aggregated there. Now I'm pretty sure that if I go and throw a bucktail there, I'll end up with a Garrick. But it's on that bank right there where I got that 50-kilo cob. So I'm going to drift down with the tide. If that feeding there continues, I'll probably come back and throw a few shots where all those baitfish are pushed up on the bank there. The wind has all but dropped away now. I think it's going to be a stunning afternoon. I just hope the cob come in, man. Just now the wind was blowing so bad that I was being pinched here against the tide. and the boat hardly moved. That's all changed. So right here now, hey, there's my Goliath heron busy making objections to me being here. Right here is where this big sandbar at the moment is. You can probably see the water turbulent there, smooth in behind it, and a little back eddy forming there. Just has to be a cob there, man. See if I can get another cast onto that spot. I'm drifting out of it now in quite a rate of knots here. Let's see if I can get another shot on it. Oh, there's a little Garrick right behind my plastic. Okay, let's give it another shot in there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let that touch bottom. It's on the bottom. It's not too deep there. It's about 3 meters. And then it drops on the other side of that little bank into 5 meters right there. Maybe, yeah, let's do one more drift. Maybe I'll come and anchor up on the spot for a little bit and see if there's not a cobby hunting in that back eddy over there. This is moving quite fast now. Oh, look at that Goliath heron. I don't know if the front camera will pick it up, but he's proudly walking over to the bank there with what looks like a mullet on the tip of his speared beak, right on that bank. He'll probably try and swallow that whole now. If I was a bit closer, I'd try and catch it on camera. He's just delivered the coup d'etat. Come on, Mr. Kob. Come on, Mr. Kob. A man alone on the river today, guys. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Spent the whole morning making lead heads, casting bucktail heads, getting them all painted. I probably tied about 6 or 7 before I decided the itch was too much and I had to go and scratch, and here I am. And hopefully we can get a nice cobby on the line. I'm going to go on the back end of that bank now, in that lull water. Beautiful, beautiful. It's becoming a long cast now. There's a couple of mullet. They got a fright from our lure landing. Okay, I'm into that 5 meter hole now, chaps. Well into it. Put a couple of shots across it and see if we can raise a cobby here. Otherwise, after it fills up a bit, the current's not ripping in like this, I might come and play around here, but maybe with a bucktail. See what's happening. Right, chaps, some of you might know that I've developed a little bit of tendinitis recently. I think it's the combination of too much fishing and tying of bucktails. So I've taken up to some trolling just to rest my wrist. I'm rocking a little Corvallis, a Halco Laser Pro 140. I'm just going to punk this out the back here. Give it a bit more line here. Should do it. Right, we'll put that into the holder here. Then on the other setup, I'm busy trolling this is a little quantum bait caster that I've had for a while and never really used. And here I'm doing a purple kingfisher rattler, which is a copy of the laser. Flick this one out the back as well and see if there's any, whoops, Sorry, braid never throws an overwind. Right, again, so the idea, I see this one's a bit far out. The idea here is not to have the lure hitting the bottom. It's just going to pick up some debris like that. So what we'll do is we'll pick up a bit of the slack. And we'll see what happens. Happy days. So as I said, guys, this is not normally my style. I get a bit bored of trailing, but tendinitis is a terrible thing. So what I've done is brought out the old trolling sticks, and we'll see if we can get lucky with another nice cobby. Alright guys, I went back to the trolling, and seems to be the plastics weren't working, and I've travelled maybe 10 meters and I'm on with a nice cobby. This one slapped me. Basically I put it into the water. Within about 10 seconds this guy came along and said, "How's it?" Which makes me think, what's wrong with my plastics? Feels like a nice fish. Probably going to make a little bit of a runner now. Just ease up on the drag. Yep, that's a nice fish. Well hooked. There we go, guys. A nice big cobby on the troll. I haven't done this for a long time, but I thought I would do something different for a change. Put down the old spinning sticks for a while and did some trolling on Gamtoos, and there's the result. A nice cobby taken on the silver Helco. Gave me quite a fight on the light stick. I'll measure it now, but it was quite a nice cobby. I think we'll get this guy back in the water and see if there's another one knocking around. This guy back in the water. Another one. I might get used to this trolling. We'll see what happens. Let's see if we get another fish. Right, so on my second drift down the river now. I did one up and one down. On the way up, probably 5 minutes after I put the lure out, I got my first cobby on, and that was a nice one, probably about a meter long. I've now worked from the top of the blue drums down again. The wind has subsided again. My wrist is still killing me, but I think I'm going to poke a lure around here for a little while. I'll finish off this troll, hopefully get another cobby, and then I'll give it a bit of a bash again. But this is not my favorite style of fishing, but produced a nice fish now. So, you know, let's give it another go. I might just make a turn and do one more trip up. The sun is going down now, but that pesky wind that dropped completely, the water became like a plane of glass, basically disappeared, and now we've got a west wind coming through. It was north the whole day, gale force this morning, and then it went dead quiet on the change. Now we've got this west coming through, which is going to pick up. I can feel it's going to pick up into the evening. But let's see if there's another cob on the trawl. Another one would be nice. Let's see what happens. I think I'll do one more up, and then I'll race down, do one drift on the lure. Then I've got to go and tie some more bucktails, and my wrist is killing me, folks. But there's no pain, no game, eh? No pain, no game. Let's see what happens. Well, because I find trolling that incredibly boring, I've gone back to the mermaid's tail, the old-fashioned manual way of catching a cob. Let's hope it pays off. Should be resting my wrist for a bit of bucktail tying tonight, but I can't resist. I wouldn't mind getting a nice... That last cob on trawl was probably about 1 meter long, and I would love to get one on the rod and reel. Lots of fishermen have their own liking to what they enjoy about fishing. For me, it's the strike. It's that hours and hours of countless casting, retrieving, anticipating, and then you feel that tap tap on the rod. Set the hook, and there's a nice big fat cob in there, and you can't beat it. You don't get that with trolling. I'm always tempted to pick up a spinning rod as I troll along, which doesn't work. So let's see what happens. I've probably got about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour before the sun sets on me. That'll bring this glorious little afternoon session to an end. I'll try and get a video out of what I've caught so far, what I've captured on the camera so far. But it's going to be a bit just jointed. This is more or less where I picked up that cob on the trawl now. Just diagonally opposite the Pollocky at the dead mouth. And those that know Gamtoos will know that there's quite a bank in front of that Pollocky, and quite a deep channel that feeds the old mouth system. So I presume he was lying in that little 4 meter channel there. There's quite a bit of mullet here on the surface. I presume that's where he was laying in ambush. But yeah, I just started trolling that lure. I actually thought I was stuck on a piece of red bait. Then I noticed that the line peeling off the reel was a bit too, wasn't at the same speed as the boat. It was coming off in stabs and tail slaps, so I realized quickly it was a cobby. Stop recording.